Okay, so it's been quite a while since I've made a video. A lot has actually gone on. The last time I made a video was right before I had my wisdom teeth taken out. So that's actually one reason I haven't made a video, is because that was quite the ordeal and it took a long time to recover. I ended up getting an infection and I had a lot of swelling, so it looked like I had two softballs on the sides of my mouth. I actually kind of looked like Quagmire from Family Guy. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So that took a while, and then I just kind of got out of the routine, and then I was working a lot, and then I was preparing to move. My husband and I actually moved. We moved to Hawaii, which was pretty exciting, but it was actually quite an ordeal. As you know, we have 3 cats. Cats are not easy to get to Hawaii. There's a lot of quarantine rules, and it actually costs quite a bit of money to get them ready to go to Hawaii. So they have to have all kinds of shots and vaccinations and checks and blood work and all kinds of crazy stuff. So got all that done. So that's good. The cats are here. So I am now in Hawaii. However, my stuff is not in Hawaii. So that lovely furniture you see behind me, it's just loaner furniture. The only thing that's actually mine is like the computer and the TV, and that's like it. So, as you can tell, my mic is a little fuzzy because the only thing I have for a mic right now is my gaming headset, and yeah, it just does not sound very good on video, so I apologize for that. You're going to hear a lot of fuzziness throughout this video. But, other than that, I should be back and rolling and making YouTube videos again. That having been said, obviously once I get my mic, the sound ought to get a little better. Let's see, what's happened in the last few months? Well, I guess the best thing to talk about would probably be my trip to Hawaii. So, I had never been on a plane before. I ended up getting on 2 planes to get here. So that was kind of a neat experience. Our first plane was supposed to leave at 6:30 in the morning. However, because we had the cats, you have some extra stuff you have to do, so we had to be at the airport at 3:30 in the morning. So, my husband and I didn't sleep the night before. We went out with some friends, went to an amusement park, had some fun, and then just stayed up and went right to the airport. So, 3:30 in the morning, get to the airport, took a little while for people to help us, and then we got our bags and everything checked in, then we had to get the cats checked in. But we had reserved 3 cargo spots for the cats, because when they get to Hawaii, they need to be in the cargo. They're not allowed up top. It's just one of the regulations they have. So we reserved 3 cargo spots for the cats. Well, we get there, and our first plane is a small plane, 50-seater. Well, by airplane or flight regulations, they're only allowed 2 kennels underneath the plane on a 50-seater. Alright, well, we reserved 3. We had stopped the week before, got a rent-a-car, double-checked on our tickets, made sure everything was fine. Everything was fine. Get there, and they're telling us that only 2 cats can go underneath the plane. Okay, well, what are our options? So, our options are to take a later flight, which leaves like 2 hours later. Granted, we'd already been up for a long time, and I didn't want to leave 2 hours later. But there was a bigger issue. If we left 2 hours later, that would also make us on a later flight to actually get to Hawaii. Well, with the quarantine station, you have to pick up your animals before 3 o'clock, or you end up having to keep the animals there overnights and pay extra for them boarding the animals. But we'd already paid for direct release, and we did not want to have to pay for boarding the animals. So we didn't really want to take a later flight. So I looked at them like, well, I had heard before of people taking small dogs, cats, and things on the plane with them. So I figured as long as we could get to the second plane, the bigger plane, it would be okay to bring one with us. So I asked the lady if we could take one of the cats on board with us for the first flight. She said, sure, not a problem. We'll check her in as, a carry-on, and go from there. Alright, well, think everything's gonna go smoothly? Of course it's not gonna go smoothly. So, animals have to get checked, because apparently some idiot at some point in time has planted a bomb in their animal, or bought an animal and planted a bomb in them, and had them blow up. So it's kind of like the warning, like you know somebody did it, like the warning on a coffee cup, where it says caution hot, you know, because there's hot coffee in it, and you know that the only reason that it's there is because some idiot poured hot coffee on themselves. But anyway, so before we get on the flight, we think we want to calm the animals. You're not supposed to sedate the animals, because if they're under the cargo bay, it actually gets cold and their body temperature drops. If you sedate them, it can drop too much, so you can't sedate them. But our animals were nervous. They've never been on a plane, and they get nervous just traveling. They get all worked up and throw up, and Shiva even foams at the mouth when you, like, take her in a car. So, plane is going to be definitely a scary experience for them. So we bought this calming spray. It said it was no sedatives in it, so it was just supposed to calm them down, make them feel at ease, and chill them out a little bit. So we tried it a little in the hotel room. Seemed to work good. They were all getting along. They were all kind of mellow. So before we went to the airport, I sprayed the cages and their collars with this calming spray. Well, when the animals were getting checked, they went off for explosives. Apparently, something in this calming spray set off an alarm for explosives. So they checked the cage, explosives. They checked the cats, explosives. Then, of course, because I'm the one that sprayed them, and I'm the one that is holding on to the cats, I'm going off for explosives. So this is my first time in an airport, and it was quite an ordeal because we're all going off for explosives because of this calming spray. So finally get that situated. Everybody at the airport understands what it is. We explained it to them. Everybody's good. We go on the plane, and there's a rule that your carrier has to go underneath the seat. Well, it was a small plane. Shiva's carrier was a hardtop carrier because Hawaii requires hardtop carriers. We got rid of our softtop carrier and bought the hardtop carrier because it was a requirement. Who didn't fit under the seat? The stewardess comes by. You can't leave your animal there because it doesn't fit under the seat. You're not allowed to hold her. You're not allowed to have it sticking out. It has to be securely underneath the seat. Alright, so by this time I'm flipping out again because we'd already gone through 3 hours of, fighting with people about how to get the cats on. And like, well, pretty much your only option is to take a later flight. We can get the other 2 cats off the plane. You can take this one, and then all your luggage will get sent to Hawaii, and you'll just have to pick it up later. Awesome. So, I'm flipping out, and there's a lady a couple rows back from the front, and she's like, well, are they allowed in a soft carrier? And the stewardess is like, yes. So she takes her leather carry-on bag. It's about, yay big. She dumps out everything she has in it into an upper compartment and hands us her bag and says, put the cat in this bag. So we tore apart the hard carrier, shoved it in an overhead compartment, and then threw Shiva in this leather bag, and we had to have it unzipped enough so she could breathe, but zipped up enough so that she couldn't get out, because obviously she's not allowed to wander the plane, and she had to be under the seat. So we're trying to hold her under the seat in this leather bag, and she kept trying to pop her head out and get out of this bag. It was ridiculous. So that was an ordeal in of itself. I'm tired, he's tired, he falls asleep, but he's holding on to the cat. And I'm trying to look out the window, because I've never been in a plane before. And, that was the cool part about having the little plane, is because I got to sit at the window and look out. But I was so nervous that the cat was going to get out while he was sleeping, I just kept watching the cat. So I kind of missed a lot of cool stuff, I think, on the little plane. Anyway, so then we get to the next airport. We tried to give the lady some money for letting us use her bag, because that was really sweet, and it really saved us quite a hassle. And she wouldn't take any money or anything. She was like, just pay it forward, do something nice for somebody else. And we're like, hey, awesome, we'll definitely do that. So like I said, she was a godsend. It was pretty awesome. We get to the bigger airport, and the cat needs to go under the plane. Well, she had been checked on as carry-on for the first plane. She needs to go as cargo for this plane. So that was another ordeal. So they were already loading people onto the big plane when we got there, and we spent so much time trying to get the cat underneath the plane. It's ridiculous. But eventually she got into the plane, and everything was good, and we got to Hawaii. And then we went to the quarantine place, and we got our cats, and everything was awesome. But it's crazy. So we have some friends that were already in Hawaii, and they met us at the airport, and kind of helped us gather up our stuff. And since our stuff wasn't here and our house wasn't quite ready, we ended up going to a hotel room for a little bit, and so they dropped us off there, set the cats, down and let them get acclimated, and then we went out to dinner. Well, so we walked along the beach, and we went to this one burger place for dinner, and I don't know, food was amazing at this point, because all I'd eaten was like a sandwich on the plane, and then that was it, because I hadn't eaten since the night before. We had Hooters for dinner at like 4 o'clock when we had met friends, so it had been a long time since I'd eaten. And this burger was like the most amazing burger. But I was so exhausted, like, I'm just sitting there, and I'm like taking a bite, and I'm like, alright, chew, swallow. Like, I literally had to think my way through it. Same with the fries. I looked down at the ketchup, hold a french fry, look at the french fry, look at the ketchup, dip it into the ketchup, look at the fry, chew. I really had to, like, tell myself what to do, because I could not comprehend anything at that point in time. I was so tired. It was an ordeal. But we made it, and it was pretty neat. The big plane actually had a screen with, like, movies. Like, each seat had them. So you had movies, you had some TV shows, you had radio stations, you had some games you could play, and the remote you had turned into like a game controller. It was kind of cool. So that was definitely a neat experience as well. I didn't get to sit anywhere near a window on the big plane though, and everyone around me that had a window kept the stupid blind down so I couldn't see. Like, I thought for sure, people on a window seat, you'd look out the window. No, nobody did. They all had their blinds closed, so I couldn't see anything. So that kind of sucked. But, oh well. I'm sure I will be on a plane again. That or I'll be spending the rest of my life in Hawaii. Anyway, that was my ordeal. Explosives and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, I will make more videos. And I promise they won't be boring. Hope. I'll try. It's the best I can offer. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little story about the plane ride and the explosives and all that good stuff. But anyway, have a good day. And thanks for listening.